Hi there and welcome back to my channel. This is Sean, the Honest Book Reviewer, with another book review. In this video we're discussing Burntown, written by Jennifer McMahon. Here's the book. It's so many genres in this book. We've got horror, paranormal, fantasy, thriller, mystery, drama, so many things going on in this one story. It also has an interesting element in the book. That is, secret blueprints written by Thomas Edison for a phone that talks to the dead. And that's a key element all through this story, and a key driver for the story overall. I enjoy that part of it. It has added so much to the book. It is almost a perfect book, and I do recommend this very much. The majority of this book is focused on Neko, and Neko used to be called Eva. Now I won't go into detail of why she changed her name, or why she's now living on the streets, but there's history about that in the story. But it is a key part to this story of why she's on the streets now and why she did change her name. So anyway, Neko was on the streets with her mother at one stage. Her mother has since died, so she's by herself. But she's also running from somebody, and this somebody is very dangerous, we're told in the book. And he's been after Neko for quite some time, and possibly after Neko's whole family. So we do get told about this strange person, this dangerous person in the book, and we learn who that is later on in the story. I won't go into all that aspect in this video because I don't want to give that part of it away. That's a key danger in this book and a key driver for why Neko is still on the streets. So while being on the streets is a tough life for Neko, she thinks she's safer on the streets than she would be at home with her family if her family was still around. Her mother tells her that the rest of the family is dead. So for a long time, Neko believes that. Is that true? Well, you'll read the book to find that out, and there are many twists and turns in the book about that. But she feels safe on the streets, but that changes very quickly. One morning, she wakes up and finds that her boyfriend, who also lives on the streets, is murdered. And is murdered with one of her own knitting needles. So immediately, she thinks that the police, the public, are going to think she's responsible. So she runs from that scene. And then from then on, she's not only on the streets, she's on the run from the police. So that just adds another aspect to the story. That's where the whole thriller comes in as well. And then that mystery in the background about her past and why she's on the streets and who this person is who's after her. That adds so much to the story as well, and that just builds up also from this moment, this one moment where Neko's whole life becomes even more dangerous. So we have other characters in this story that are not big characters like Neko. They're support characters, but their storylines are just as important. And it's very organic the way those character storylines merge with Neko's storyline. That happens in the story as the book progresses. But I like the way that comes about in this story. It just feels so real. It doesn't feel forced at all. And I think Jennifer McMahon is an author that knows how to write organic storylines. She doesn't really force things in her books, very often anyway. One of these support characters is called Prue. And Prue manages the cafeteria at the high school. I like Prue because she has many aspects to her. And part of Prue is bringing in a fantasy aspect as well. Not a fantasy as in fantastical things happen in the story, but just through her own mind. So Prue is fascinated with circuses, and in her apartment she's creating a circus scene, quite a big circus scene, and a paper mache characters. And when other characters see them, because other characters do in this story, they're amazed by it. And Prue just comes about as this genuine, kind person. For me, she's a standout character and probably my favourite character in this book. She just feels so real. She feels like she's a character that's just very innocent in this world this book is based in, this town. We have Theo in this book as well, Theo being a teenage girl who goes to the local high school. We get a lot of thriller aspects with Theo and dangerous aspects, sometimes crime as well in her storyline. She's in danger because she's being linked to criminals doing something for them, and she owes them money. So she's on the run from these criminal types, and her storyline interacts with Neko because Neko has her money. I'm not going to go into how all that happens, That's how their storylines merge in this book. So in the background to this whole book, with everything going on, with Neko running from this dangerous person, with Prue and this fake circus she's creating, and then she gets hooked into the storyline with Theo and with Neko, and then we have Theo herself, running away from criminal types who she owes money to. In the background of all this, where all this action takes place, we have the town itself. And the town itself is given a lot of atmosphere, and the town itself almost feels like another character in this book. It's very powerful in the way it's described. So we have this town that's almost falling down, falling apart at the seams. Buildings feel run down and boarded up windows and doors. It feels like this town is on its last knees almost. We have people who just don't feel positive about the town at all. They feel like they're suffering along with the town. You get that whole sense about this in the book. And that just adds a very dark but a very powerful backdrop to this whole story, and it makes this whole story seem a little bit more sinister in a way, because it feels like this town is just dangerous in itself in a way. It feels like it's a town where people can sometimes feel like they have no hope. So Neko, our main character, amazing character in this book, perfect in my view. And with Jennifer McMahon, I concentrate a bit harder on the characters because she writes characters so well. I try to find little flaws with them. Can I find little things that don't make sense, or little things that just feel a bit forced, not natural? But with this character, there's nothing like that. Everything feels real. Everything feels natural. This character is perfect. Prue is my favourite character in this book. There's some quality about her that's undefinable, of what makes her such a good character and stand out so much. I don't know if it's because she feels like she has a zest for life. She wants to create a bright life, kind of a shining light life amongst this background of this town that feels darker, this town that can feel sinister at times. Maybe it's that contrast between Prue and the town itself that makes her stand out so well. I'm not sure. She also feels very innocent in the story, and I love this whole idea of this circus scene she creates in her home. This papier-mâché model she's making in her home with all these different circus characters. It sounds really delightful actually, and it's something I'd like to see. Theo, the teenage girl character, who's going to high school and has links to these criminal types who are after her, she owes money to them. As teenagers go, she doesn't feel like a teenager all the time in the book. So we have a character here that has some flaws. It doesn't happen all the time with Jennifer McMahon. Most of her characters are written very well. With Theo, even though she's strong in the story, she's a very strong character, she just doesn't feel like a teenager all the time. So I think she could have had a few tweaks with her, but you do engage with the character I did anyway. Her storyline's powerful, her voice is powerful. She stands out quite well in the book, and I just like this whole feel that these three female characters are like the legs of a tripod, and they all need to survive, or else they'll all fail. You get that feeling in this book. I really enjoyed this book. It's almost perfect. I rated it a 4.5 out of 5. There are some little flaws here and there, but Jennifer McMahon knows how to write atmospheric books. This book has so much atmosphere in the background, the town, that almost feels like a character itself. We've got atmosphere through the character's point of view. There's so many things going on in this story, and it feels very genre blending. It's a great book in my view. I do recommend it. It's almost the best Jennifer McMahon book I've read, but there's little flaws here and there. On my channel, I review many thrillers. If you enjoy thrillers, check out my channel and subscribe. On the screen now is a link to a video for another book I'm sure you'll enjoy.